And it is actually an honor and a privilege to be here on this call with all of you. I'm very blessed to be given an opportunity to serve you. So it is the favor is on me of Guru Maharaj that he is allowing me to do this seva. I am very fortunate actually. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Mataji. We are eagerly looking forward to hear from you, the nectar. Hare Krishna, please take over.
Okay. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dutati Swapadantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So thank you all for joining in and coming online. This is our Sadhu Sangha. We are so fortunate to have this medium to interact with each other. We had a wonderful retreat where we all came in personal touch with each other, and that was truly, truly out of this world. And my hope and prayer is that next year we will have even more devotees coming, and that way we have everyone's association, and that will make Guru Maharaj so happy. So how is all this possible? You know, look at us. Here we are from different countries, different areas of the world, and we are all coming together. Who has united us? Who has united us? It's Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada came at a very advanced age from India to the West, fulfilling the orders of his Guru Maharaj to spread this wonderful message of Krishna consciousness to the world. And that's how here we are all connected through this common platform of service to Guru and Krishna. And what a wonderful place this is to be. ISKCON is really spiritual world, where devotees come together to glorify, to chant the holy names, to worship, to perform services to the deity, to decorate the deity, to offer wonderful foodstuffs to the deity, then to distribute that prasadam, to distribute the form, the transcendental knowledge in the form of books that Srila Prabhupada has so painstakingly written to change the world. Such wonderful things are happening simply thanks to Srila Prabhupada's mercy. One person who came on the order of his Guru and changed the whole world forever. The world will never be the same again. After Srila Prabhupada, who else is able to do this? So Srila Prabhupada's gift is truly matchless. And you're going to start talking one by one about all the wonderful gifts that he has given that make up this Krishna consciousness movement. So the very first thing that comes to mind is, when you came to the Krishna consciousness movement, what is the first thing you heard? You're not this body, right? You're eternal spirit soul. You're Krishna conscious particle. That means you're a part and parcel of Krishna, also eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss. That's who you really are. So this wonderful knowledge would not have been known to any of us had Prabhupada not given this knowledge. Because he is coming from the spiritual world, he's coming on the order of Krishna to release the conditioned soul from the trap of thinking, we are this body, we are this mind, we are this identity, we are this person, we come from this family, we come from this country, we come from this profession, and all these are upadhis, designations, and they have nothing to do with our eternal identity, which is spirit soul, eternal servant of Krishna. That is our only identity. And immediately, once you come to know that, it frees you, it liberates you, and puts you in the real position of rekindling your loving relationship with Krishna. So, Srila Prabhupada once and for all released us from all these traps of thinking we are this, we are that, I must fulfill this obligation, that obligation, that obligation. Actually, we have only one obligation. That is to become Krishna conscious and to serve Krishna. And once that is there, it's like watering the root of the tree, and everyone gets satisfied. Everyone is happy because Krishna is happy. So Srila Prabhupada has truly liberated us. And actually, by giving this movement to men and women, He actually liberated the women also. So I say he's the greatest women's liberator. Srila Prabhupada taught us that all spirit souls are equal on the spiritual platform and gave equal opportunities to the men, to the women, to anyone who was willing to sincerely take up this process of Krishna consciousness. When Srila Prabhupada first came, who was he dealing with? The hippies, crazed out, drugged out, strung out hippies who were looking for an alternative experience. And Srila Prabhupada gave them the best alternative experience ever, transcendental knowledge and transcendental happiness. And the love with which he dealt with each and everyone, if you listen to the memories tape to the first generation of disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they all say they didn't know anything, but they did things out of love for Srila Prabhupada because he loved them so much. So they felt such a powerful love coming from him that they were willing to give their life. Not just willing, they gave their lives, they sacrificed everything, they gave their heart, soul, their talents, their skills, their time, their energy, their money, everything to please Srila Prabhupada and to push on this Krishna consciousness movement. How is that possible? Because of Srila Prabhupada's love. He showed such deep, total, unconditional love of Krishna through his interactions that people were simply enraptured and captured by what is real love, because real love is for the soul. It is for the soul of that person. And I kid you not when I tell you this, so many memories stay. You will hear the people say, I never knew what was love until I met Prabhupada. I knew this person loved me like no other. You will hear this over and over again. And this is the love coming from the spiritual world, Krishna's love, which is unbelievable. So Srila Prabhupada gave us connection to that most wonderful realm, Krishna's world and Krishna's love, through his teachings, through his own conduct, his own behavior, his own loving exchanges with his disciples. He showed us what is real love. And aren't we all longing for that? Doesn't everyone want that perfect love, that perfect happiness, which nothing can mar, nothing can spoil, nothing can take away, nothing can betray? Who doesn't want that love, that perfect love? So Srila Prabhupada taught us what is that love, where is it found, how it can be attained, and the way to achieve it. So this is another matchless gift that Srila Prabhupada gave us to find real happiness, to find real love on the spiritual platform. Because this is what is going to make us truly happy and at peace, and to feel connected, to feel joyful, to feel loved, to feel valued, to feel you have a place in this world, place in Krishna's world. All these things have come because Srila Prabhupada has given us this perfect knowledge of who we are and where we belong and what we are meant to do and what is our eternal identity. Now, Srila Prabhupada just didn't say all these things because he knew that if he just says these things, people could dismiss it as sentimental. As he said, religion without philosophy is sentimentalism, and philosophy without religion is mental speculation. So, because he wanted to firmly establish that this is authorized, this is bona fide, this is coming in disciplic succession, he sat up half the night and more to write books on transcendental knowledge day after day after day, night after night after night, often waking up at 10 o'clock after sleeping for 2 hours and staying up throughout the night till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, just writing these books for us to have perfect transcendental knowledge and be able to defend our position when challenged by any of the bogus philosophers out there. Srila Prabhupada said, my books are the law books for the next 10,000 years, because this Krishna consciousness movement is going to last for the next 10,000 years. And so he wanted us to be armed with knowledge, stand and fight. As Krishna says to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, it says, armed with knowledge, armed with yoga, stand and fight. So we will be challenged. We will be obstructed, we will be opposed, and we will be legally taken to court for so many reasons. And we should be able to defend ourselves. We should be able to prove that this is a bona fide religion. And so that is why Srila Prabhupada gave these books. And he said, just as the lawyers know their law books, my disciples should know my books as though they are the law books, which they are. And Srila Prabhupada wrote over 80 or 90 books on transcendental knowledge, day after day, sacrificing his time, energy, his life, so that we would be standing firm in transcendental knowledge with no doubts whatsoever. And he has given everything in those books. We just have to read them. This is our challenge. We have to read all these books in order to gain the transcendental knowledge, in order to become fixed up, in order to continue to have strong faith. Or rather, even if our faith is weak, we will get our faith strengthened by reading the books and gaining the knowledge that we need to conduct our lives in Krishna consciousness very nicely. So Srila Prabhupada gave us transcendental knowledge in the form of these books. Most importantly, Srila Prabhupada came to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya, to spread this chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The joyful congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord all over the world. Because this is Lord Chaitanya's desire, his command, Yare Dekha Tare Kaha Krishna Upadesh. Whoever you meet, tell them about Krishna. And to chant the holy names of the Lord is the Yuga Dharma for this age of Kali, because this is the means of purification, this is the means to attain love of God. So when Srila Prabhupada came, he did not give any rules and regulations, because he knew the people who were coming to him were very young, very lost, very confused, some of them very much traumatized, having mental health issues, so many things people were coming to him. So all he did was give them lots and lots of prasadam very lovingly and chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. He would take kartals and he would sing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And because Srila Prabhupada is a pure devotee of the Lord, his chanting had such potency and such a marked effect on his listeners that they took up the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. They began to feel transcendental bliss and ecstasy. They began to find their lives changing and their hearts getting purified and all their bad habits falling away. And they became slowly more and more fixed in Krishna consciousness. And some of those hippies today are our spiritual masters. So you see the potency of Srila Prabhupada. He said, I have made the hippies into happies. Because all of them became very happy after coming to Krishna consciousness. Their faces brightened up. They started becoming, as Srila Prabhupada said, glowing people from Vaikuntha. So this is the power of the pure devotee, that Srila Prabhupada could change, could transform these people who were really down and out into stalwart spiritual warriors of Krishna consciousness. What a matchless gift this is, to turn, as he said, his white elephants into Vaishnavas. So Srila Prabhupada, once he was asked, so Swamiji, you're a holy man. What miracle have you performed? What miracles have you done? So Srila Prabhupada turned to his white disciples and he said, this is my miracle. These milechas, these yavanas, addicted to all sinful habits, drinking and drugging and women hunting and alcoholic beverages and all kinds of abominable habits, they have become purified and they have become Vaishnavas. This is my miracle. And it truly is. It's like a transcendental touchstone, Chintamani, it converts bell metal or a base metal into gold. So similarly, by Srila Prabhupada's entering into the lives of these very disenfranchised, very lost, very disturbed souls, he transformed their lives and made them Krishna conscious. This is one of the greatest contributions Srila Prabhupada has done. Because of the pure devotee's potency, he could accomplish that, he could do that. And from them have come more disciples and more disciples. And today we are in the very lucky position of having pure spiritual masters like our His Holiness Chandramali Maharaj, Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, Bhakti Charu Maharaj, Jayapataka Maharaj, Kavi Chandra Maharaj, Sachinanda Maharaj, Krishna Kshetra Swami, then so many Swamis, because one great soul makes other great souls. So he has now empowered all of them to become spiritual masters and in turn pass on the pure message of Krishna consciousness. Why? Because he is a bona fide, pure representative of Krishna. He came to give the message as it is. That is why he entitled his Bhagavad Gita as it is. Because he said, I have not changed anything. I have given you the message as it is. And this is the great contribution of Srila Prabhupada, that he did not change anything. He did not have any personal motivation. His only desire was to please Krishna and to pass on Krishna's message as it is to the world. This is a very great contribution because most of the so-called spiritual leaders of the time were self-serving. They wanted people, they wanted followers, they wanted money, they wanted prestige, position, everything for themselves. So they would try to convince people that they are God. And they would demand worship as if they are God. So Srila Prabhupada put an end to all that cheating religion. When he would hear of such people, he would say, kick on his face, pass urine in his face, spit on his face. He would be very strong in his condemnation of quacks and crooks and charlatans who were just misusing religion for their own selfish reasons. And Srila Prabhupada never ever said, I am God worshipping. He always said, I'm a servant. I'm a servant. And he showed who is really God. Krishna is God. Krishna stu Bhagavan Swayam. He described Krishna with all opulences, all the 6 opulences, and gave vivid descriptions of Krishna's Leela, his pastimes, his killing so many demons. He gave the 10th canto in the form of Krishna book because he wasn't sure if he would stay around long enough to complete the Srimad Bhagavatam. So he was racing against time to give us all this transcendental knowledge and give us these books. So that time he wrote this Krishna book in which all the Leelas of Krishna are described so wonderfully that there is no doubt left in anyone's mind. Who is God? You wake up a Hare Krishna devotee in the middle of the night in deep sleep and ask, who is God? He's going to say Krishna. Everyone knows Krishna. God is Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada invented or coined the term Supreme Personality of Godhead, just to show that Krishna is the origin of all the incarnations, all the manifestations, all the avatars. Everything comes from Krishna. Krishna is the origin. He is the beginning. He is the ongoing, and he is the dissolution of everything. He is the origin of everything. Krishna is God. And he established that so firmly in the minds of all his disciples, and now all of us grand disciples and great grand disciples who are to come. We know who is God. There is no doubt in our minds. We know for sure Krishna is God, and we can explain this to anyone. No, Vishnu is God, no Shiva is God, no Ganesh, no this one. We can establish clearly with the knowledge that Srila Prabhupada has given us through all these books that Krishna is God and he is the supreme worshipable object. And by worshipping him, by surrendering to him, your life will become perfect. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshyashyami ma suchaha. Abandon all varieties of religion, just surrender unto me. I will deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. So Srila Prabhupada gave us the topmost, the highest, the purest, and the most unshakable knowledge, because nobody can shake us. Once we have this knowledge, we are firmly fixed in our convictions, in our faith, and that we know we are on the right path, back home, back to Godhead. As Srila Prabhupada said, we have come into this world, as in defiance of Krishna's will, rebelling against him, envying him. And here we are in the cycle of birth and death. But Srila Prabhupada said, you can put an end to everything. All those billions of lifetimes, you can change in one lifetime and go back to the eternal spiritual world, which is really your home, which is our real home, where we once were. Many, many, many lifetimes ago, we have forgotten. We are amnesia. We have forgotten who we really are. And here we are struggling with the material energy. But Srila Prabhupada has reawakened our memory, told us who we are, and given us the path back home, back to Krishna. What a matchless gift. What a great preceptor. What a great spiritual master who has given us true knowledge and true freedom. Because once you have this knowledge, you're free. You're no longer subjected to the torment and the trials and tribulations of this material world will not be able to shake us. Yes, we will have difficulties, we will have challenges, we are going to be tested, no doubts about it. But because we have the knowledge, we will be able to overcome it. As Krishna says, Daivihi Esha Gunamai Mama Maya Duratyaya Mam Eva Ye Prapadyante Mayam Itam Tarantite. So, this divine energy of mine is very difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. And Srila Prabhupada says the whole ocean of material existence becomes reduced to a small palm full of water, like a present in a calf's hoof print. Imagine the whole ocean shrinking into a tiny little calf's hoof print, that much water. You can easily just step over it. So that's how easy it becomes to cross over this ocean of nations once we take shelter of the spiritual master and follow those instructions nicely, correctly, with full faith that doing this will actually help me to get better in my Krishna consciousness and will bring me closer to Krishna. So he established the guru-disciple relationship. He taught us who is the bona fide spiritual master, and he taught us the process of bhakti by giving us step by step what we need to do, what is initiation, how we need to do anartha nivritti, what do we need to follow. Everything has been given to us by Srila Prabhupada. Our whole lifestyle, what to eat, how to eat, when to wake up, what to do after waking up, how we must conduct ourselves, what we need to do to make this human form of life successful. Everything has been clearly delineated by Srila Prabhupada so that we have no doubts whatsoever about what is to be done, what is not to be done. So we strictly follow the regulative principles, we chant our rounds, we follow the orders of the Guru, we engage in devotional service, and slowly, we are getting purified of the contamination of this material world. Of course, we still are struggling because we are still at anartha nivritti, we are still in the shower, but guess what? We are getting clean. Hey, that's great, isn't it? Just being in the shower means we are getting clean. So that's good. That's a good sign. So simply by staying in the process of devotional service, we will slowly get purified and slowly get fixed up so that nothing can shake us, nothing can come in the way. Not only did Srila Prabhupada teach us on an individual level, but he gave us a vision for how this whole world can be a very peaceful, happy place. He said the whole world can become Vaikuntha. There will be no more problems. By teaching us a simple way of life in harmony with nature, what he called as Krishna conscious farm communities. Now, this is a vision which has yet to come about, and it depends on us. We need to take this seriously. We need to understand what Srila Prabhupada is trying to do, because we can see all around us what is happening to the world. The world is in a very difficult situation now, and we can see that if things continue the way they are, we're going to run out of food, we're going to run out of water, we're going to run out of paper, we're going to run out of trees and shade and fruits and vegetables and grains and milk and sugar and all the things that we have now. One by one, they're going to start disappearing. That is why it is absolutely urgent and imperative for us to start thinking about the future and how Srila Prabhupada wants us to have Krishna conscious, self-sufficient farm communities where we are no longer depending on ugra karma, this sense gratificatory, exploitatory, just money all the time. This is not going to be helpful to any of us, and it is actually destroying Mother Earth. There's more plastic in the ocean than fish today. There's such toxic, pollutants entering into the waters. There's marine life dying by the millions. coral reefs are getting destroyed. What to speak of the air, what to speak of the food, what to speak of the land, the way the land is being raped for just growing fodder for animals to be slaughtered and for meat. I mean, it's unimaginable what kind of demoniac activities are happening. We don't want to go into that. We want to remember Srila Prabhupada's words and follow those instructions so that we can grow and our children can grow and our grandchildren can grow nicely in Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, our survival is at stake. So this is another of Srila Prabhupada's grand visions, that we become farm communities and we show the world how to live. In fact, Srila Prabhupada in his later years, in 1977, he actually wanted to go to Gita Nagari. He was on his way actually, but he had to turn back because of ill health. He said, 50% of my work is not complete. I have not established Varnashram. And he decided, I will go to Gita Nagari, I will sit down there and I will teach you how to live. That's what he said. But he had to cut short his trip. And in London, he had to turn back and come back to Vrindavan because his health was very, very poor by then. And it was pretty obvious that Srila Prabhupada is not going to be able to make it all the way to America. But because he has given so many instructions, he has had so many room conversations, morning walk conversations, farm walk conversations, we have a complete blueprint of how it is to be done. And this is what is going to save the world. Srila Prabhupada said this. Historians will note in time to come that this Krishna consciousness movement saved the world in its darkest hour. And we can see all around us that things are pretty dark. It's a very bleak scenario out there. Who knows what the demons are up to after all the havoc they have unleashed with this coronavirus and then this so-called vaccination drive, which is actually another control strategy and a depopulation drive to get more and more people under their control. It's a very demoniac plan, but then Krishna is supreme. The demons, have their plans, but Krishna's plan will reign over all. Lord Chaitanya's plan is to change the whole world by chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He said, Yare Prithvi te ache yata nagaradi gram, sarvatra prachar hoibai mora nam. In every town and village, my holy name will be sung. And what are those towns and villages? They are the Krishna conscious farm communities, because that's where it's going to happen. That's where devotees are going to congregate. That's where devotees are going to live. And that's where they're going to worship the Lord. And that's where they're going to come together and chant the holy names as farm communities, because this is where we are going to have to move if we want to survive into the next century. So Srila Prabhupada gave us these beautiful temples. That's another great gift Srila Prabhupada gave us of establishing gorgeous temples and gorgeous deity worship, which is unparalleled in the world. You go to any temple and people will tell you, this Hare Krishna temple is very nice. Your devotees are happy, the deities look very happy, the decoration is so nice, the atmosphere is so nice, everything is so alive over here. And people throng to our temples simply because of the energy, the love with which Srila Prabhupada established very high standards of deity worship, which is being carried out in every temple to this day. 6 offerings, 6 aartis, Mangalarti, Darshanarti, Rajbhoga Arti, then I think Shayan Arti, then Gaura Arti, and the last one, I forget the name. So all these artis go on, offerings go on the altar, and there are very high standards of cooking, of offering, of deity worship that Srila Prabhupada gave us, because he knew we needed all this to purify ourselves. So he gave the whole process by which we can establish a loving connection with Krishna. Who else could have done this? Brought the mercy of Radha and Krishna to the world except Srila Prabhupada. So this is a great matchless gift. One by one, if we just recount all the things, wonderful things that Srila Prabhupada has done, we will be amazed how one person did all this on behalf of Krishna. He changed the world, he saved the world, he's given us the path back home, back to Godhead, and he has established gorgeous temples, he has given us transcendental knowledge, and he has taught us that Bhakti Yoga is the highest yoga of all. There's Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, so many. If you go to India, you will find, one Babaji for everything, willing to teach you what mantra you want. Okay, what mantra you want? Okay, what do you want to attain? And this is the way they will cater or pander to your materialistic desires. But Srila Prabhupada came to give us the highest of all. No cheating here. You want the diamond, you pay the price, you'll get the diamond. And he reassured us that success is guaranteed for the rigid practitioner. So he told us that don't worry, you follow this process and you will succeed. Who gives us this kind of guarantee? No one does that. But Srila Prabhupada was so confident and so sure because he said this is a science. This is not some mumbo jumbo. We don't have some blue smoking mirrors and, we throw ash into the air or suddenly some smoke comes out and there's fire and lightning and this and that and no such dramatic magic tricks. This is the real deal. And this process will teach you the difference between matter and spirit. It will teach you that you are not this body. It will teach you to go beyond the body and reconnect your soul with the Supreme Soul, Krishna, reawaken your loving relationship with Krishna and take you back home, back to Godhead. So Srila Prabhupada's personalism is espousing the cause of bhakti, destroyed all kinds of cheating religion, and it has also put an end to impersonalism, voidism, nihilism, all the other isms, all these isms as he called. He said, we just need Krishnaism. Krishna is everything. And we can see that all enmity, all competition, everything ceases because we understand we are spirit souls. On my recent tour of Europe, I found in practically every temple, Ukrainians had been given shelter. And they were joyful, they were happy, they were integrated with the community, and they were saying over and over again, we have experienced such love from our devotee family. So who could do this? Prabhupada has made the real United Nations. He has united us all across the globe into one loving family of devotees. So this is the real United Nations. Look at us. We are all coming together to glorify the Lord and his pure devotee. All of us are from all over the place. But how is it that they are united? Srila Prabhupada has united us. So I was reflecting that how Srila Prabhupada has made us in such a way that we no longer look on anybody, oh, you're from Pakistan, you're my enemy. No, we just say, okay, here's another spirit soul, that's all. We don't look on the designation, national background, what is their profession. Oh, I won't make friends with you if you're from Pakistan or you're from Sri Lanka because I'm Indian. No, we just say this is politics. It doesn't matter. You are spirit soul, I'm spirit soul. That's all. And we are united forever in service to Krishna. That's our real connection. So now, because of what Srila Prabhupada has given us, and he's given us the process, good people are coming out of this Krishna consciousness movement who have given up bad habits. Prabhupada said, this is a movement for building character. This is a movement for bringing out good qualities. And this is a movement which will help you to get qualities you didn't have before. Isn't that wonderful? Srila Prabhupada said, devotee slowly acquires all the good qualities of the demigods. Because Krishna promises, I will carry to you what you lack, I will preserve what you have. Ananyas chintayanto mam, yejana paripashate, isham nityabhiyuktanam, yogakshemam vahamyaham. For those who are constantly meditating on my transcendental form with exclusive devotion, I carry to them what they lack and I preserve what they have. So such reassurance is there on the path of bhakti. Krishna is there and his bona fide devotees' love and protection is there. You don't have to really worry about anything. We can simply take shelter and know that we are being protected by this process of bhakti, by this process of Krishna consciousness. So Srila Prabhupada has given us these beautiful temples all over the world where Krishna is being regularly worshipped and the holy name is being glorified and purifying and changing the world. He has also, because of ISKCON, Vaishnavism has taken a very high position in society now. People have a lot of respect for ISKCON, and even the other Vaishnava Sampradayas are benefiting from this focus on Vaishnavism. Sri Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, Nimbarka Sampradaya, all these are bona fide Vaishnava Sampradayas. We are Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. but they are also benefiting because of the focus on Vaishnavism. And eventually, actually, they are all going to join us. This is far into the future. I'm just saying that. So I spoke about how Srila Prabhupada has united us, how Srila Prabhupada has made the real United Nations happen. I spoke about his matchless gift of transcendental books, the deity worship, farm communities, teaching us truth from separation of matter from spirit. And this is just a brief glimpse into the wonderful matchless gifts that Srila Prabhupada gave us. And I think we can stop here and open up for discussions, comments, questions. Thank you all for listening so patiently. My humble obeisances to everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji, for this beautiful class on the matchless gifts by Srila Prabhupada to the world. I mean, it's so many things you have covered. I mean, it's really nice, very nice to hear. Like, I mean, so true. Like, Srila Prabhupada, he gave us like everything, like, the real United Nations, which you said, the real love, and made us understand that we are not this body, and you told us, like, he gave us a transcendental knowledge through his books, and so many things, and how he transferred hippies to happies. I really like that. I mean, it's so true. So everyone, like, if you really read Prabhupada books, we can transform, we can build our character, whatever we have, we can change ourselves and contribute to the world. And he taught us to establish relationship with guru and disciple, how to establish the relationship, deity worship, beautiful temples, and the farm communities. I mean, everything. It's really, thank you so much for this beautiful class. Dear devotees, please, if you have any questions, comments or realizations, you're welcome to unmute, or you can type in the chat box, or you can raise your hands. I'm sure you'll have wonderful things to share. It's such a important topic, and it's such an important thing to know. And I also request humbly, if you can possible, please turn on your cameras. It will be nice to see you all. Hare Krishna. Anuradha Devi Mataji. Yeah, Mataji Rais, please go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sridevi Mataji, Hare Krishna, dear God family, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. Glories to Srila Prabhupada, glories to Guru Maharaj. I really like Sridevi Mataji when you say that we are like United Nations and that Srila Prabhupada unite us together. I always like, because it's sometimes we think, it's in my own power, I do this and that, but if we see the just a second, if we see the power of our acharyas, we can just second I'm coming back. But we can see that when excuse me, some technical problems at home. Yes, but we can, if we can see the if we can go to the Murti of Srila Prabhupada, we can see that he's kind of really someone who established this ISKCON society, and that we are part of that. And he's a captain of the ship which goes through the ocean of nations and material problems, and that we are the group on the ship, which we need to be let's say cooperate with each other to save that ship of saving souls going toward spiritual world. So that vision I really like when you said that that we are on the ship. So thank you so much for that vision you told us. Very nice.
Thank you, Anuradha, for reminding me of what I said. and reminding us that, Srila Prabhupada said, I'm a captain, I'm the captain of the boat. All we need to do is just stay on the boat, not jump off and think, "Yeah, I'll just visit that island over there, it looks interesting." And then we might never find our way back to the ship, So yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Nice comment, Anuradha.
Thank you.
Mataji. Thank you, Mataji, for that nice comment. We have a hand raised by Vrishabhadas Prabhuji. Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna dear, God's family, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Sridevi. It's like, wow. I have to say, I would like to learn to preach like you. At the convention.
Oh, I can't let you get away with this. My humble obeisances to you, dear God brother. All glories to you for your service for Guru Maharaj.
I have such a Vaishnavis mothers in the family. They're all preachers. Like, wow. The children has to be preachers as well. We have to follow your examples.
I'm learning from all of you.
I was just speaking to Kalakanta Prabhu. He is from the foreign ministry in here in the ISKCON, and I was just speaking with him that we want to bust this concept of devotees, that the farm and the communities are something like, trying to establish a city in Mars, something like, trying to, make an underwater city or whatever, that it's so elaborate, so complicated, so, impossible, so dispelling. It's such a tapasya. I would rather go to hell than, start a farm and such, even though the cities are going to hell, but anyway. So I wanted to ask devotees as a brainstorm, what are the different reasons? What are the fears that usually that you hear, and then maybe if you think that we also have it in ourselves, why is it so hard for us to really have this desire to move, to be proactive about it? So what are and then I can make a list, and then I can bust it out, because I would like to try to start some propagation, to start active propagation of bringing this idea closer to the devotees. So any brainstorm ideas? Why is it so hard? Why is it so impractical? Anyone?
Well, fear of the unknown, fear of something that we have never done before. Most of us are city slickers. What do we know about milking a cow, planting a tree, growing food? We don't know these things. So fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of not succeeding, fear of losing what we have, or something that we may not get. All these things hold us back.
Yes, second, fear of unknown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fear of the unknown, lack of confidence, lack of faith in the spiritual master's words, lack of previous experience, lack of a vision or a plan that is workable, lack of organization, lack of proper intelligence to carry out. All these things are drawbacks that are holding us back. But I'll tell you something, Rishabh Prabhu, and I'm telling all my God family this. Mana Mataji, who's over here, she is very keen to start a farm community right here in Mayapur. And she says, let us float this idea to all our God family, that we try to get a big plot of land right here, and all of us can have our little kutirs, but we all live together with a central, with a plan where we all, the motive is that we all live simply, we all grow something. I grow tomatoes, you grow potatoes, we share, we care about each other, and we live together in such a way that our Krishna consciousness is growing and is not, getting depressed because of all the things happening in the cities, which is, pulling us down actually. And it may not even exist anymore. The cities are soon going to collapse. That's what Prabhupada predicted. So why we should wait for all that to happen? So we were just brainstorming and we were thinking, if our God family wants to, we should all come up with a plan about how to make this happen and have a good alternative right here and people can think about moving to Mayapur. Those who have something going where they are, it's different. But what if you don't have anything and you would like to come? Then there should be something for you to come to. So we are thinking like this.
Mm.
Sure,
So-
Mayapur.
And I was speaking to Kalakanta Prabhu that he sees this as well as the biggest obstacle, as you said, like, how to do it, what's the next step, what's the right step, how to do it properly. I guess also the biggest fear is, okay, who can guide us, who really knows how to do it, and can somebody explain me how to do it? So what I suggest, I would like to hear more, maybe some reasons from other devotees. Why are we so afraid of that project, consciously or unconsciously, or what would be the reasons? Because we can write it down, and I will get you all the answers, because I have such an experts around me that can answer us all of these questions, and it is also important for us, so we can put it all in one document, so that we can bust this myth that living in the city and staying where we are is much easier and much safer, and it's like livable than moving out in something that Srila Prabhupada made for us not to suffer. That's why he gave us this, So.
Well, I think that should be a whole class in itself, because we need to really focus and get people's opinions, and that is outside the scope of today's discussion, because we just have about 10-15 minutes left, and in such a short time, I don't know how much we can accomplish. But
So
it is
let's make one class when Maharaj is not giving class, just about that, where
Yes.
we came with all the doubts and everything, because I just need a list of it, and I can find out the answers, concrete, practical answers that it will be like, oh really, wow, that's amazing. We already know these things. Amazing.
Wonderful. Thank you for your enthusiasm, and thank you for your commitment and dedication to seeing this through. Brainstorming is very important. Coming up with a plan, a strategic plan, and really doing it properly is so important, because there have been so many people who start something and then they lose steam, or they give up, or something happens, they lose courage, they lose heart. We don't want that to happen to us. So yes, planning it properly is essential. So thank you for your input.
I can just share one thing that, let's say, Kalakanta shared with me, that usually devotees think that maybe we should start, with building a temple, and then making all the structure around the temple, and then making a farm around the temple, which can be, and it can be. One other way is also really nice. The way to do it is to first start cultivating the environment. The second is making an economy. So this economy, what helps, that you don't have to have a big investment, because the economy will actually help you to invest in the farm year by year. Then you don't have to have and there is now initiative to start a farm for 4 families, around 50,000 euros, $50,000. So it's actually now the experiment is now undertaken. And after that, the social structure is being established. After the social structure is being established, then you fully invoke, you bring Krishna to enjoy the results. And then actually the spiritual culture starts to be developed on the social structure. So in this way, it's really like kind of a gradual growth of the farm communities, and it's it has a basis for grihastas to live on, and then contribute to worship of the deity and establishing a pure spiritual culture in the society. So I'm just sharing a few thoughts that we were just sharing just 2 hours ago.
Thank you, Prabhu. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you as well.
Thank you, Prabhu, for that input. Thank you so much. Yeah, dear devotees, any further comments. Yes, Swaha Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Dear
Hare
Sridevi
Krishna.
Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to you. You mentioned in a class that
Prabhupada, glories to our wonderful Guru Maharaj.
you mentioned in a class that Srila Prabhupada's books are law books for the next 10,000 years. So I was thinking why it's just for the next 10,000 years, not like longer.
Forever.
So
Yeah,
what does it mean? Like,
yeah, Prabhupada's books are forever, but the thing is the Hare Krishna movement is going to disappear. After 10,000 years, there's no Hare Krishna movement left on the earth planet. None. Because Kali Yuga is advancing so rapidly that in the end, there'll be so few devotees and they would be hiding in caves and mountains to escape, the demons. So it's going to be a very tough situation in after 10,000 years. There's no preaching, there's no worship, there's just cannibalism. And horrible things are to come. It's all described in the 12th canto. Prabhupada has described it in conversations also. There's a famous conversation with Allen Ginsberg. So that is why Prabhupada said, my books are the law books for the next 10,000 years. Actually, they are forever, but there will be no Hare Krishna movement existing after 10,000 years on Earth planet.
yes.
Not just Earth planet, material universes.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mataji.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. So Hare Krishna. So Mataji, what is the reason behind it? Like after 10,000 years, why the Hare Krishna movement?
No more. Let me describe it like this. Right now, we are on the upswing. We have completed 536 years since the advent of Lord Chaitanya. So the first 5,000 years, Hare Krishna movement is going to increase. This is known as the golden age within Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga lasts for 432,000 years. And in that, there is this small short period called the golden age, which is 10,000 years, which has begun about 536 years ago when Lord Chaitanya advented. And it is going to go on increasing. We have another 4,500 years of increase. And then there's going to be a decrease. Slowly, Hare Krishna movement will go down, until there will be no Hare Krishna movement after 10,000 years.
Mm-hmm. So that's...
And the demoniac forces would become stronger and stronger, and devotees will get lesser and lesser until there's practically no devotees left at the end of Kali Yuga.
Mm-hmm.
Then Kalki Avatar will come in the end of Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga will keep advancing. Remember, this is only 10,000 years. We have a total of 432,000 years, of which about 5,000 years are over. So there's still 427,000 years to go.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's many centuries. After this 10 centuries of Krishna consciousness, there's many more centuries to go. And people will just become, totally demoniac. The stature of people will go down, so that, an old man will be the stature of a little child. And anybody who's 25 years old will be considered a very old man.
Oh.
Because the lifespan will also start reducing. When my grandmother's time, people lived 100 years, 90 years, like that. Now, you're lucky if you get to live to 60, 70, 80, you're considered, now it's around about 80, 70, like that. Slowly, the lifespan will decrease more and more, so that a 25-year-old will be considered a very old man, and people will be of very short stature. Even the trees will become very small. Fruits will have no pulp. They will have just skin and a seed. There will be no milk because there will be no cows, no sugar, no wheat. People will be eating flesh. And even once that is done, people will eat each other. Cannibalism.
Oh, for sure.
That's Kali Yuga for you. And so in the end, Kalki Avatar will come and just kill everyone and bring in the next Yuga.
So that strong Maya is, yeah. Okay, Mataji, thank you for sharing that, Mataji. Yeah, so it gives us like more and more like, motivation that we should, really take this serious and follow Krishna consciousness. And yes.
Right, don't come back here. Kali Yuga is advancing. It's only going to get worse.
Very true, very true. Thank you, Mataji. And Raj Prabhu, please go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you, Siddha Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Sridevi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to yourself.
Please accept mine. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Gurudev. Thank you, Raj Prabhu.
Thank you very much for your lively, enthusiastic class again. You were talking about how Srila Prabhupada had given us everything. And now all we need to do is follow the process. And you said that so long as we continue following the process, then we will slowly reach perfection and go home to the spiritual world. How can we accelerate the process so we're not going slowly, but we're going quicker?
So you're asking what we can do to accelerate the process?
Yes, please.
Well, Guru Maharaj, in one of the classes, he said, you want to make a rapid advancement? Some of us, like, yes, Guru Maharaj. He said, if you want to make a rapid advancement, you want to move fast in Krishna consciousness, you have to do one thing. You ready to hear, Raj Prabhu? He said, wake up early morning and chant rounds before Mangalarati. He said, every round you chant before Mangalarati is 4 times as valuable, as powerful as what you chant after Mangalarati.
Wow.
So there's your secret to rapid advancement. The more rounds we chant before Mangalarati, the better for us, actually. Basically, early morning rounds are very, very important because we are fully focused on Krishna. Everything is peaceful. There's no distraction. There's no noise. The world has not woken up and started its, hurry-burry thing. The house is peaceful. No demands are being made on us. And that's the time we can really focus, hear Krishna's name, because Srila Prabhupada said 90%, 95%, 99%, like this 3 different quotes were there, of your advancement depends on the quality of your chanting. Your advancement comes from increasing the quality of your chanting. That's where we need to put our focus. We need to move from Namaprad to Namabhas to Shuddhanam. Or at least very quickly move from Namaprad to Namabhas. What is Namaprad? We are chanting with a lot of offenses. Namabhas is the clearing stage where we are not so offensive anymore. We are becoming more fixed in our chanting. We have become more steady in our concentration, our focus. Our mind is not going all over the place. We are really trying to hear Krishna's name in chanting. That's Namabhas. It's just a glimmer of the holy name. It's like the early morning dawn. The sun of the holy name has not fully arisen in the heart yet, but it's just beginning to. It's like the dawn. And then Namabhas to Shuddhanam is pure holy name. Of course, that's very elevated stage. First and foremost, let's get to Namabhas. That will be a big deal. So put your focus on chanting, Raj Prabhu. That's where your focus needs to be. And you can check with Guru Maharaj.
Thank you very much, Mataji.
Thank you, Raj Prabhu, for your wonderful questions. It's such a joy. When you ask some question, everyone benefits. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, Mataji, before Mangalarati means like 4 o'clock or what time?
Before 4:30. Usually 4:30 is when Mangalarati begins in most temples of the world. Some temples begin at 5. In Ljubljana temple, Mangalarti begins at 5. They've just made that change so that more people can come early morning for the program, people going to work and things like that. They have made 5 o'clock Mangalarti and 7:30 Darshanarti. Again, for the convenience of people to come. Some temples are like that, but most temples in the world, 4:30 is Mangalarti, 7 a.m. is Darshanarti. So before 4:30, if you can chant some rounds, you will find yourself making more progress quickly.
Mhm. Nice, Mataji. Nice to hear that. Yeah. Yes, we'll definitely endeavor for that. Yes, Namrata Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, and all glories to your service.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, please accept mine. All glories to Prabhupada. All glories to our wonderful Guru Maharaj and our wonderful God family.
Yes, certainly. Mataji, I wanted to ask, I just wanted to know, is there any reference that, because I have heard this, that before in previous manvantras, even people doesn't used to know about Krishna. Krishna was not open for all at all the time. So is it true they only knew till the Vishnu Tattva, not till Krishna? Is it true, or is there any reference to this?
I have not read anything like this, and I don't think it is true, because Krishna Leela, Ram Leela, all this has been, well known for a long, long time. And at least in India, I never came across anyone not knowing Krishna Leela. But then I have not come across so many people. I'm talking about my immediate family. So I cannot answer that question with any Shastric knowledge. Unfortunately, I don't have that knowledge. I have not come across any reference. I think it's best for you to ask Guru Maharaj this question, because if I say something, it will be based only on my personal experience, and that's not correct. You want something from the Shastra to prove the point you're making. And I have not come across anything in Shastra that says Krishna was hidden, nobody knew about Krishna before, like that.
Okay, fine. Thank you very much. So Mataji, I will just like to share this doodle with you. This is,
you painted this. Oh, Krishna, isn't that beautiful? Can we see it like big, like just full properly? Wow, Jai Jagannath. Wow, beautiful, Namrata.
It's beautiful.
That's
Mataji.
amazing.
Yes.
this is
Such a
the game.
gift.
This is the game we are playing. Me and my child. I did this doodle, and he's making Jagannath deities. I don't know. He'll show me in some time. But so our topic was Jagannath. So I made this, and he's going to come up with something.
Very nice. So such a nice Krishna conscious activity. Beautiful. I wish, in our farm community, Namrata, you move in and you sit and do all the art and craft with the kids. We'll happily watch while you enchant them with your drawings, paintings, everything.
Yes, Mataji, I do nothing more than that. Me, Krishna, my art. Nothing more than that.
Beautiful. So beautiful. And something that so many children, so many adults also can benefit from. It would be so wonderful if we could all actually live together. Just imagine all of us coming together and living together, what our life would be like. Isn't that amazing, just to even think of it?
Yes, Mataji, it's wonderful, giving our contributions to each and every person. Whatever you have, you contributed for the sake of Krishna and the Vaishnavas, and that is the topmost bliss I think one can get. So definitely the farm community is indeed a very nice idea. And I think as Roboto Prabhuji, I'm sorry, Bishop Prabhuji told, we should look forward to that.
Yes, yes, very much so. And we will be happy to do a whole discussion on it, Rishabh Prabhu, and get all devotees to come together to talk about, what they think, what they're planning, what they want, and how to actually make this happen so that we can all come together and do something for ourselves, basically, but to also follow the orders of Srila Prabhupada. Very
Yes.
nice.
Yes, Mataji, definitely we have to do that one day. Yeah. And thank you, Namrata Mataji, for sharing that. It's really such a beautiful painting. Please teach us also, Mataji. We would also like to learn. That's very nice.
Namrata, you do rangolis or- Oh, sorry, Sudha, for interrupting you. A thought came to me. Finish your sentence, please.
No, Mataji, I was just telling, like, please teach us also. That's so beautiful. Very nice, beautiful painting. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah.
Namrata, do you do rangolis also?
Yes, I do.
Wonderful. See, you can teach a whole generation of children so many things through art and craft and make a difference in their lives, because children love this kind of, it's entertaining, it's fun, and it's educational at the same time. Such an important skill. So Namrata, we are kidnapping you from there and bringing you here to Mayapur, to our farm community.
Haribol. I'm looking forward. Looking forward for that kidnapping.
Oh, Krishna, I'm going to capture you and bring you here.
For sure. I would love to teach all of them.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji. It's 1 hour past. Any last minute comments or realizations anybody would like to share before we end the call? I see a hand raised. Okay, Anuradha Mataji, please go ahead. Mataji, you're on mute.
Mute. Aha, now I am. Hare Krishna. My pranams. Please accept my humble obeisances. Goes to Shreya, goes to Guru Maharaj, goes to all the devotees present. Yeah, we were mentioned the farm community, right? I was actually almost, I would say, 8 years, almost 9 years on the farm community in Radhadesh. And it's very essential that there is people who can teach other devotees who know how to deal with farms, how to deal also, like Prabhu said, the financial part of that project, how to deal with the area, how to deal with how much space we need for the cows, for the land, for growing food organically. We have we get a lot of space for growing food. We have also a program for this special kind of growing food. Now I can't remember. Permaculture. Yes, permaculture.
Permaculture. Sound much better.
Leads to prema. So there are many aspects, and it's good what he mentioned, that and why fear came. I was thinking about that because he mentioned the fear. Yeah, looks like that because you are so I would say attached to some so-called, I would say, fictional Maya kind of, I would say, things which are in the cities, like electricity, water, this everything we get in cities automatically. But sometimes it happened also in Radhadesh that we didn't have electricity anymore. It was not electricity, there are no water sometimes, and we have candles on the altar we have sometimes candles and, you know, some artificial like lights for the bicycle or something. And we learn to be grateful for what Krishna's energy give us. So being on the farm, it's I will say big project. So it can be a big fear behind, because we are used to live in a certain way in the cities and having automatically things which we pay, like electricity and water and etc. But there are so many good things. If we have your own land, like in Radhadesh, in the COVID time, there in the stores, there were no facilities and we have our own food. I see that how important it is also how to learn to grow it properly. And also we have cows there, and we have people who have this who know how to deal with the cows. So there should be one devotee or two or maybe more who can who learn before and teach other devotees how to deal with that. So there is only I can see that the answer about the fear, because you will lose something you have in the city, or what my family, how we will survive, right? But if the devotees come together, and the devotee who have knowledge how to deal with the cows and the land, then there is possible no how to say fear to be there, because it's actually this is how it should be, and Prabhupada teaches us. But there is so many things which people are afraid of, like, oh, no electricity, oh, no water, or this or that. But there is always a solution. Krishna always provides to devotees. He loves devotees. And there, I think we just need to be used to how to say. Yeah, that's what I want to say for that.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Anuradha. And actually, all this discussion, I really want you to remember and present it again when Bishop Prabhu arranges for the call on farm communities, that you present all these things, because your experiences on that farm and what you learned, all these will be very good things for us to hear and also learn from. You're right. It will be an austerity. It will be a different kind of austerity. And we will learn from those things, and we will actually learn how to be sattvic, mode of goodness, not so much in the frenzy, mode of passion, get things, get cheap things, run after things, move fast, time is going, like this. A village life is a very peaceful, simple life, very simple life, very peaceful life. And it is conducive for bhakti, while the frenzied lifestyle of the city is more conducive for heart ailments and diabetes and cancers and whatnot. It's a very difficult lifestyle, We don't want all that problems. So yeah, we can discuss more. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that. So we can end the call. It's 1 hour, 15 minutes. So thank you, Sridevi Mataji, once again, for this beautiful nectar. Thank you all devotees for joining today's call. Vancha kalpa tarubhyasya kripa sindhu bhyavacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki.
I want to also say that Sukravaha Mataji and I also had quite a few discussions when I was in London.